This podcast is for voice teachers and coaches to answer the question, how do I grow my teaching business and even break out of that one-on-one lesson model so that I can reach and teach who I want whenever I want? I'm your host, Allie Tyler, voice teacher of over a decade and marketing and business coach for fellow voice teachers. Welcome to the Voicepreneur podcast. Before we dive into this episode, I want to take a moment to reflect on what's truly possible when you have a business that works for you. You've heard me say this all the time because we are not here to work in or for our business constantly. We are here to create a teaching business that supports you, your life, your lifestyle, your strengths, your creativity, your wellness, and oh my gosh, so much more. Now, here's the thing. The number one thing that's allowed me to do this in my life, truly the number one thing, is hiring help. I could never do what I'm doing without investing in support. It has given me the freedom to focus on what I do best, which is ideating and creating and teaching. And I leave all of that admin work to someone who is really good at that. This is truly what has allowed me to be the CEO of my business and the CEO of my life. And that's why I'm so excited to bring you an exclusive bonus episode with my right-hand woman, Mika. Together, we are sharing everything that we've learned about working together as a team. So things like who to hire and what to outsource and how to streamline your back end so that it runs like a machine. If you have a virtual assistant or a team, or you want to hire one in the future, this episode can truly change your life. It is so good, it had to be its own special bonus. So, to get access, all you have to do is two things. Number one, review the podcast on Apple Podcasts and email us a screenshot of that review. And then number two, share any episode on your Instagram stories with a takeaway and tag me at the Voicepreneur. Once we've confirmed that you've done those two things, we will send you the episode. So go do those two things, and I hope you enjoy this episode. So I had mentioned this before in a previous audio message, a little bit about this group class that I am putting on. So little tiny backstory, I am essentially taking and leveraging the people who are inside of the community choir who want to learn how to sing, but I genuinely don't have the time to teach them how to sing inside of a choir class. And I am funneling them into a group class that I'm going to hold right before choir. So I figured that out, how to actually create the day and time from the interest form that I had sent out to the choir, because I had tacked on a few questions at the end about the group class, being like, hey, would you be interested in a group class? If so, what time would you want it to be? You know, that type of thing. And literally 100% of the people who are interested in the class said that they could come if it was right before choir class, which is on Tuesday evenings. So that took care of that. We're going to do a class on Tuesday evenings. But of course, you know, I'm still like in newborn bliss land, and I don't really want to teach that much every single week. So I decided to splice it up into 5 different sessions, starting on Tuesday tomorrow, actually October 8th, every other Tuesday up until the first week of December. And it correlates beautifully with the choir because it goes with the showcase, and I can talk about that in a separate audio message that's a little bit more dipping into the lesson planning of it. But all of this to say, we are going to start this thing, right? So I'm thinking all about, okay, what do I need to do to actually make this thing happen? What is going on here? First and foremost, I want to make everything as simple as possible. So this was really interesting because oh man, this is so interesting. Our brain, when we go into the world of, okay, it's time to market this thing, it's time to get the word out there, it's almost like we come up with this bullet pointed list of all of the places that we need to be marketing it without actually taking the time to think through, A, how to make it simpler, and B, how to make it feel really aligned with where you are at right now, right? Because especially with a group class, you know, a group class is kind of an interesting thing to start because it's a group of people. It has to exist with a group of people. And then the question to be asking yourself is, do you need to know who these people are? Are they going to be random people? What's the vibe of the group going to be like, right? What is the vibe that you intend for it to be like? And how can it be like that? Maybe if you don't know those people. So I had to really sit with this for a second because it really didn't occur to me until I was actually going through that bullet pointed list of like, okay, I'm going to post in the Facebook group, and then I'm going to put flyers up, and then I'm going to do blah, 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 and like all the things that you do when you're about to start something in your town, right? All the things that you think you're supposed to do. As I was looking at that bullet pointed list, I was like, wait a minute, what is this thing? Like, I don't even know what this thing is. We haven't started it yet. And I am so fortunate that I have students already that I know, that I love, that know me, that are already interested, that are ready to go. Now, for those of you who are listening to this, who are inside of the Voicepreneur program, you know exactly where I'm going with this. I talk about this in every program that I've offered. The importance of having loyal students in the first time that you offer something. It just makes the energy so much better, so much more forgiving. I hadn't honestly even thought about that when I was creating this group class until I was going through that bullet point list. I had made a flyer. I had made this Facebook post that I was not quite ready to hit publish yet in, or on, I should say, in the Facebook community I have that has like 5,000 people in it. I just kept sitting on this post about this group. And then it hit me, wait a minute, I don't know the vibe of this group. I need to take some time and sit with this. And at the same time that this was happening, it was kind of like divine magic, which could have, really easily set me off, but it didn't set me off. I found out that the location that I wanted to have this group class at was falling through. And the location in and of itself was already such a vibe setter. It was like such a beautiful place to have a group class. And I'm like, oh, interesting. Okay, so now I don't have a location. Now I'm going to publish this group class, and I have people who are interested in it. So I know that they're like going to join it, but what is this thing, right? And then it dawned on me, I'm not ready to publish this quite yet. I actually have a beta group. I didn't realize that, but I do, right? The people who are already a fuck yes, those are my beta members. And so I can allow that to, first of all, relieve me of any pressure to like go and, go back and tackle all of my tasks for marketing, but also relieve the pressure of the fact that like some random people might come into the group, and I don't know if I'm ready to take that on if I'm not even sure exactly what the group vibe is. And I would much rather create the group vibe container with select people, right? Have this like relaxing, comfortable, intimate experience with people I already know and love. That feels really, really exciting to me. And so when I figured that out, then I was like, oh, boom, done. All right, group class is going to be at my house. Oh, wait, if it's going to be at my house in my living room, I don't want random people coming to my house. That's already kind of weird, right? So it took care of the location, and it took care of me not having to do those things that I thought I had to do. Posting in the Facebook group, posting flyers around the town. Like I was like, oh, I just like literally took that off of my to-do list. I genuinely am not ready to do that. I am going to only focus this on my wait list and for the people who are in my choir. So that's the first message I wanted to share about that, because I think it's really important that before we jump into all of the tasks that we think we're supposed to do, to really feel into your offer, right? If there's any resistance that you feel around it, look at that. Ask yourself why you have that resistance. Like I had so much resistance around posting in that Facebook group, and so much resistance around sending an email blast to like my entire email list of hundreds of people about this class. Every time I would go to sit there, I was like, I don't know why I'm not quite ready to do this. Why am I not quite ready, right? Now, there is a difference between I'm not ready because I'm scared and I'm not ready because something just isn't right. And you have to be so freaking mindful of that. You have to really know yourself so well to know which one it is. There is a big difference. And it's important that you can reassess if something doesn't feel right. And it's very important that you click send on the things that scare the shit out of you, because they scare the shit out of you for the right reasons, right? That's a whole other tangent, but I just wanted to share that because that's important. So look at your logistics, ask yourself if there's any resistance around creating a new offer, launching it, why that is, and see if you can come up with an even narrower and simpler and more fun conclusion as to how to actually get that offer out there. Oh my goodness, that was so juicy, and I'm so glad you're still here listening. You are amazing, and I can't wait to see what you take away from this episode and what you bring into your teaching business. Oof, it is going to be so good. If you want to come and see for yourself what it means to grow and scale your teaching business, come and check out the resources inside of the show notes or visit us over at thevoicepreneur.com. If you enjoyed this episode, take a screenshot, share it on your Instagram stories, and tag me at The Voicepreneur. Or if that's not your vibe, that's totally fine. Share it with your two best voice teacher friends so that we can continue spreading the good word that you can create a sustainable, spacious, and fun as fudge cake teaching business that makes an enormous impact on your students' lives and your life and your bank account. It's awesome. Thank you so much for being here. I love you so much, and I can't wait to see how your business changes your life. I'll catch you in the next episode.